Studio. I'm a Surface artist. Surface is high-performance, salon-exclusive hair and skin care that completely respects personal health and the earth. I'm going to show you the fourth haircut in our core cutting system with Surface. There are 5 haircuts in the world. Trends are an exaggeration within these 5 core haircuts. So this will be the 4th one. Working in the Surface system inspires creation and enables recreation. So we're going to give you a core cut and we're going to give you lots of tools to create and recreate the same haircut. What we're going to start with in this is a front and center, which is a haircut that inverts the line and takes it into the jaw for us. So we're going to have some layering, some inverted lines. It's all going to come forward. We're going to do lots of layering techniques and texturizing techniques so you can make this haircut your own. We're going to start in the back with a parting, and it's going to be an arc shape. So this is our hair map, and we're going to take an arc shape through here, right through here. And depending on your desired look and your final haircut, you can do as high and as dramatic as you would like. We're going to do something kind of just in between today. I want a nice, pretty, soft, inverted line. So we're going to make our little arc. We're going to use our grip clip. Then I'll use my trusty TK2 comb. I love this comb. You can separate so nicely with this. It makes it so easy to part. So in this section, what we're going to do is we're going to take it out directly away from the hair in a vertical layer. So we're going to come down and we're going to bring it all down to the head. We are not going to take anything off of the length. We don't want to let the length depict our whole haircut. So we're going to start with our titanium razor. I love this thing. It's my favorite tool. Now, once you get to the second knuckle, you want to grab again. And then you can really pinch, and depending on how much, little flip you want at the bottom or how much length you want left, you could change that at that point too. I like to leave all my length and go back in later. So we're going to move to the left. You would stand directly behind your guest. We're going to over-direct the red zone, the danger zone. We don't want that to get too short on us. We can always go back and take a little bit more off there. Then we're going to move to the right. Letting that rock down there, over there. Careful about the red zone. We got a little bit of heaviness here, so I'm going to take just a tiny bit more out right there, but I want to be careful about that. I don't want to take all the length off. We'll always go back and take more off later there. So, as you can see, now we have shorter layers through here. Those vertical layers that come down. So our next section, we're going to make that same arc. This is what's going to give us our weight line if we choose to use a weight line. It's going to give us our length. So, same arc, just a little higher. Now we're going to bring that down. And we're going to come up with our guide. How much weight line do we want to see? I'm gonna go about just a little bit longer than our top right here, the top layer. I'm gonna go just a little bit longer. Maybe a finger width. So once we establish that, then we're gonna swing cut down and swing cut down. We're gonna make sure to leave plenty of hair in that red zone because we're gonna go ahead and sweep that forward next time too to get our length in the front. So we're swing cutting with our razor underneath. And then we're swing cutting to the right, leaving plenty of hair in that red zone. On a guest, you would be directly behind, but so that you can see, I want to come at it at the side so you can see what's happening here. So we have our weight line here. We came to the side. So our third section, we're going to take down from the tip of the red zone. So this would be like the tip of our red zone here, like right above the ear. We're going to take that down and we're going to meet it at where the bottom of the black zone would be. So that's the amount of hair we're leaving out. So, as you can see, here we have red zone, red zone. This would be about to the bottom of the black zone. We're going to use the black zone next. So, we're going to split it in the middle, and we're going to swing cut it all the way to the sides. Now, we really like her jaw, and we want to accent it, so we're going to go ahead and diagonal down. Now, once you got to the side, you could come straight at it if you would like, but I want a diagonal. So we're going to find our guide. We're going to swing cut this to the front. Want to be careful not to get past that second knuckle. We're still going to have a little hair peeking out underneath there in that red zone, and that's okay. We can cut that out later. So we're holding our razor like a dart. Some people say a spoon, some people say a pencil. I like to just call it a dart because it makes my hand relax. So now we're coming to the right side and we're swing cutting to the right. So we're starting right there in the middle. We're going to get that blade underneath there, do a little bit of beveling. And it's coming all the way around. There again. We want to accent that chin. We could go for a guide. Once you get the left side done, we could have gone for a guide. We're about there, so. All right, so then we're gonna bring everything down. gonna bring the head down just a little bit so I can get to the black zone a little. Well. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna find the black zone. So what the black zone is it's the very top of the head. It's the highest point. So here's our highest point we found by putting our comb on it. And we can find that highest point. And it usually comes to about above the ear. So what we're doing here is then we're bringing that all the way down, and we're going to cut this back. And we're going to cut this all at 90 degrees. So I'm right-handed and I'm going to start on the right side. So what I would do is I would take this and I would find my bottom guide, which is right here. And I'm coming 90 degrees out from the head. And I'm gonna go all the way up with this. A light bevel, all the way up, got to the second knuckle. I wanna get to the top of that black zone. Oh, I lost my guide. There's that guide. And we're gonna go all the way around with that. Just in this back section. So as you can see, we are finished with the blending, the upblend. And that gives it such a nice lift, and you can see the hairline here. Everything's laying really nice. So what we're gonna do now is we leave about a ½ inch of this black zone out, and it is gonna be our guide for the green zone. So we're gonna start at the part. Our green zone is ridge line to ridge line, and that's where the head, where we find the high point and the high point, and then where they meet. So we're going to take the part, which is a little higher than that. So we're good because we'll need a little bit of that later to blend this side. So we're going to go right down that part. So we were on the part. And we're going to blend forward, shattering that out. This front hand is the one that depicts the length. So, as we do this, we're going to start to diagonal. So, if I can get the mannequins up. So here's our black zone, and that's where that comes forward. Here's our part. We have our part line here. And then as we take sections now, we're going to come across like this. So we're going to take a parting, well, a parting here, a parting here, a parting here, as they go back till we get to the side. So you can see a little bit better. Here is our guide. We're going to move that forward, keeping our length. So this is when we decide, do we like this length here? Do we like this fullness? Or do we want to see a little bit of a disconnect? So we can leave this disconnect or we can cut this disconnect off. I'm going to cut it. I want more of a softer look. So there's that disconnect. We have a shorter length and a shorter length. So we're going to upblend that. When we upblend, then it just lays ever so softly back down. Now, we want to leave our length through there. We still have a little heaviness right through here, so I want to make sure there's no corner left there. Oh, we got a little bit of one. But we don't want to compromise that red zone, so we want to be careful about that. So now we're coming back over this part. I said we would need a little bit of this later. So we want to make sure that we have a blend here. So there's definitely, here's our guide, and here's our length. So we're going to work that down and get that to blend. Now we're going to work on the framing of the face. So, space creates lift. So we want to make sure that we have this eye lifting up nicely. So we want to kind of scoop that out. And obviously on a mannequin, it's a lot different than a person. So this is really going to pop out on here. So we're not going to go as dramatic, but we are going to take some of that out. And we're going to come down with it. And as we come to this side, we want to cut that fringe about 2 turns back. 1, 2. We're just going to shatter that out about mid-nose, but then we want to keep it at the length. Now, space creates lift, so we're going to do the same thing on this side as we did on the other. We go to that ridge line. We want to take some out of that eye. So we're going to bring that down. So now what we can do, especially on this heavy side, when we have this ridge line up, when we tuck that heavy side, it always gets real heavy and thick behind the ear. So what we can do is we can bring this out vertically and just ever so slightly kind of ride that razor at about 5 degrees and take a little of that heaviness out. So then as it comes back, it's much more soft. I like to use my RZ Fine. I love these things. So when we have little areas that need softened, I can just tap, tap, tap. I can do that with the bangs. Tap, tap, tap. There's some heavy spots in this area, so we'll get those again too. anything that's heavy going around. We can hit with these fine blenders. We can go all the way around. If we felt like this was too heavy, we could definitely hit that too. All right, we're gonna do something called rolling the razor. So we're gonna go up to this area here, which is the black zone, and we just pull this hair up, and we just ever so gently just like roll that razor underneath of it. Now you don't wanna do this on long hair because it'll be too heavy and you can end up taking a big chunk out. It's a great way to add volume. Kind of get it underneath there. Then you kind of check your work. Do I feel like it's too heavy anywhere? Do I like the length everywhere? Yes, I do. So, another thing you could do if it was too heavy in places is we could definitely weave cut a little bit here where we go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And we just gently roll that out of there to lighten it. We could do a little bit of vertical sculpting out of there too. But I like the way this is laying. I like the shorter lengths in the back. I think it's a little bit more of a dramatic front and center. I love this length in the front. I am gonna soften this up around the neck a little bit. And then I will show you our final haircut. I will use a little bit of Reflect gel in this hair. We're gonna do a little thermal styling. It gives a little volume, good blowout, probably a little bit of jump, and maybe a little shift shaping wax. So, all right. Okay, so this is our front and center, all blown out. So what we did is we established our vertical layers in the back with arc partings. Then we took down another arc section, made a guide, swing cut, took down another section, swing cut that to the side, established a side length. We took the black zone and we beveled up with a blend and at 90 degrees to get the volume. I wanted a lot of elevation here, so we went ahead and took a lot out through there. I think it's pretty fun, makes it a little sassy. Then we took the front of that black zone, pulled it forward, made our guide through the green zone over the part, took diagonal partings so we could have a little bit more of weight line over here and a little bit of a thicker side. Once we did that, we went under and we disconnected and took all the weight out through there. We took a little section through here, blended it down so that it took some vertical partings and just blended all that down. We went in and we made some space that gave it a little lift through here. I think this is really cute tucked back. That is how I would wear it. This is how I would cut hair for a guest that would wear it that way. Then I came to this side. We did our fringe, 2 turns back, brought it down, little mid nose, bring it down to the length. Did a little fine RZ blender right through there to soften it up. Came over here, made space over the eye to add a little lift. Took out a little weight through here, so if we did want to tuck it, it's not so heavy. Then we took our fine RZ blender and we went through here in some of the heavier spots. You could weave cut through there. We rocked the razor through here to add lift. As you can see, it just pops up so nicely through there. So that works very, very well. And this is our front and center. Thank you.